Hello bookish friends, welcome back to My Fair Fiction. Today I help you fall in love with reading. So whether you're a newbie, a beginner or someone who is looking to try something new, I've got you covered. The books that I'm going to introduce to you are so easy to fall in love with that they practically read themselves. The first thing that I want to tell you is no, you don't have to read classics to be considered a reader. You don't have to sit through 500 pages of 19th century despair to earn your bookworm badge. So start something light, start with something fun, something that you are sure to love. The idea is to gradually get more reading done into genres that you might like. I personally started with classics. So I had a misconception that only people who read classics are considered readers. So I started with classics, then I moved on to rom-coms, and then eventually fantasy, and then science fiction. I actually love everything, a little bit of everything. So just that. The first book that I want to introduce to you is Percy Jackson. Now it's a whole series and I'm sure you've heard of it because it's very famous. It has a whole TV show, it has a movie, and it's really very fun. It has everything that I look for in a book because there's characters with ADHD and there's Greek gods and there's sassy demigods and there's so much fun, and it's a really funny book. Also somewhat emotionally damaging, but I wanted to read it. And for the second book, I have Sophie Kinsella's Can You Keep a Secret? Now, if you are someone who is into light-hearted rom-com movies, then chances are you're into light-hearted rom-com books as well. And this is one of the best out there, because I love whatever Sophie Kinsella writes. It's in a genre, Can You Keep a Secret is in a genre called chick lit. Now, it's just a fancy word for literature by women for women. And Sophie Kinsella is the best out there. There's also a movie if you want to check it out, and it stars Tyler Hoechlin and Alexandra Daddario. And for my next recommendation, I have The Aurora Cycle by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Now, if you're someone who likes science fiction movies set in space, then you are sure to like this. Now, it's a big series, but in spirit, this novel is like the cousin of Guardians of the Galaxy, because there's aliens, there's Saz, and there's Sassy aliens. So I love it. It's my favorite series. Now, if you're a thriller fan through and through, then Lucy Foley's The Guest List is for you. It has short chapters, it's classic, whodunits, there's secrets, then every character has something to hide. Now, these are the things that makes a good thriller, and it's a decent thriller, and it's very easy to read. So, and it was my first thriller read, so it's special. Now, if you're someone who is experimenting with new genres, you want to try dark romance, and you need books with intensity and tension that can snap your Kindle in half, and who can do that to your spine, then I will recommend starting with Penelope Sky books. They're very easy to read, and that's how I started reading dark romance, and she's very good at it. And eventually then you can move on to darker books if that's what you like. And never tell anyone I said this. And for a bonus recommendation, I have with me a book of books by Sonali Bendre, the actress. And this is a gentle nudge to get into reading. It's an interactive book, and it has tips and tricks and general helpful things to get into reading, and I personally like it. And there's so many literary references which I love, and It's a great book, and well, it has illustrations too. So, and for the moral of the story, there's no right way to be a reader. You have to read. That's the only thing that matters. You have to read what you like. If you like non-fiction, then read that. If you like romantic comedies, then read that. Dark romance, fantasy, anything at all. The motive is always that you should love it. You should love what you read. And if you want, we can gush about it together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know about your beginner book recs in the comments below. As always, read recklessly and keep turning the pages.